Daryl Hall tells a reporter that's the blankest thing I have ever heard. I'm John Bowden from rockhistorymusic.com. There's one thing I like about Daryl Hall from Hall and Oates is the fact that, he is unpretentious and he's kind of real. Doesn't suffer fools. And, I've interviewed a lot of guys who, they've been in rock and roll as long as him or even longer, and they've got their answers down pat and they know what not to say and they don't want to get in trouble. But Daryl Hall sometimes just tells it like it is. Interesting answers he gave Jim Harrington of the Mercury News when talking about Harrington looking up, Googling Hall and Oates before the interview. And what comes up? Which one was Oates? And Hall responded saying, "What? That's the blanketest thing I've ever heard. That's what comes up after all these years? Which one is John Oates? That's why the internet blanking sucks." Jim Harrington also asked Hall about the fact that the band prefers, or the duo prefers, to be known as Daryl Hall and John Oates as opposed to Hall and Oates. The reason we've always insisted on our full names is because we consider ourselves to be two individual artists. We're not really the classic duo in that respect. We don't really do a lot together other than share the stage. We always wanted to be looked at as two separate people, which obviously the internet didn't get because it doesn't even know who I am. And one of my favorite parts of the interview, when he even got a little deeper and a little bit more real about the relationship between him and John Oates. Jim Harrington asked, "Why don't you two guys record together anymore?" He says, "We exist for what we did together in the past, but as one grows up, one becomes more individualistic in one's life. When you're a 20-year-old, you need a buddy. When you're blank and 70-year-old, you don't need a buddy as bad. So what we do is work separately, and we're happy about it." Realistically, of course, this is not a completely new thing. They have touched on this in the past. But I enjoy his frankness. As I said, I've interviewed a lot of people who are very, very guarded, and it's frustrating, but at the same time, I understand why they're that way. Make sure you comment on our videos, subscribe to our channel, and share our videos. We've got some good stuff coming up. On our sister site, which is Rock History Book, this is Rock History Music, which is new music news on a lot of classic artists that you love. But Rock History Book's all about top 10s and looking at things that happened way back when. We've got the top Supertramp albums of all time coming up, with interviews from 3 members, including Roger Hodgson, one former member of the band, talking about the albums and the songs. We've got the top 25 Supertramp songs of all time based on our poll from last summer. Not this past summer, the summer before. We're finally getting around to it. And this is going to be a major production for us, so we're doing a lot of work on this. We'll be releasing it in the next few days, as well as a Supertramp story featuring a little clip from their sax and MC man, John Helliwell, on this channel in the next few days as well. I'm John Bowden. This is Rock History Music.